Hello everyone, welcome back to Naomi's Bookshelf. Today is going to be that fun 6 months down the line tag of the Mid-Year Freako tag. So this tag has been going around like crazy. I can't find the original, but I will put the questions down below, and if I can, by some miracle, I will add the creator to down there as well. But overall, I have just come up with the answers that I've seen everyone else answering the same questions, and I hope it's gonna be fun. So the first question is, what's the best book that you've read so far in 2020? And I've gotta say that it has to go to Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. I loved this book. I love Kaya as she grows up in such a hard situation in the marsh, how she survives so many things, how she teaches herself science elements without realizing that's what she's doing with nature and with birds and with bugs and crazy things like that. She also is such a powerful and such a strong, independent woman, and she really had to become that way due to her circumstance growing up. I love this. It's a historical mystery, and I love the dual timelines. I thought it was so great. Love this book, highly recommend, and I totally get why everyone loves this book too. So the next question is, what is the best sequel? Now, it's a tie, but I'm gonna count it because it's The Two Towers and The Fellowship and The Return of the King by J.R.R. Tolkien. These books are so good. They're perfection together. I never thought I'd love Lord of the Rings reading it that much, and I loved it. They're so great in their pacing together and their action. They keep me drawn in. They kept me engaged. I just loved the different levels of character growth in here, the different storylines you follow. I can't praise these enough, to be honest. The next question is a new release that you have not yet read. And that, I think, is Death by Shakespeare by Catherine Harkup. I really want to read this one. I just can't read ebooks right now. My brain will not let me, and that's the only kind of copy I have of it, so it's very disappointing. But I'm desperate to read it. I'm going to read it this July. I will read it July. So the next question is, what is your most anticipated release in the next 6 months? For me, I have got to say the sequel to In the Hall with the Knife. I loved this book so much. It was fast, it was fun, it was nerdy in some ways. It was just perfection in so many ways, and I can't wait to read its sequel. I already love the characters, and I can't wait to jump back into a Clue-inspired mystery. I love it. So I don't know if I said, but In the Study with the Wrench, I believe, is the title for the sequel. So the next question is your most disappointing book of the year, and unfortunately it is a Liane Moriarty, and that would be 9 Perfect Strangers. As I read this, I knew it would be one of the most disappointing books of the year, in the top 10 at the very least, and currently still in the first place for the first 6 months. It was just such a letdown. I really had high hopes for this. It just had no plot. And it's not a small book, and it just was like, out of the 450 pages, there was no plot, there was no action for the first 300 pages, and then by that point I didn't really care. So this was such a disappointment. I was really hoping to love this book, and it just didn't happen. So the next question is, what was your most surprising read of the year? And I have got to say, without a shadow of a doubt, there were some seconds and thirds, but never a first instead of this one. And that would be Illuminae by Jay Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. I knew this one was a hit with everyone, but I didn't know why. No one would say why it was so amazing. It's a mixed media, science fiction, and then someone once told me it was like a horror, someone said on a vlog, I believe it was. It was a horror book as well, and I was so confused as to what it was. And then I read it for Audiobookathon, and I believe it was in April, and I was just so surprised. I read it in one day, and partially that was because I knew if I put it down, I would forget it, as it's not my typical thing. I don't read a lot of sci-fi, I don't read a lot of YA, but that was such a shock. I really actually enjoyed it. I listened to the audio, and then read the book, and then I just kind of dropped the audio at some point. I didn't need it. I needed more of the book physically, but man, was it good, and I did not expect that at all. So the next question is, who is your new favorite author? So this could be new to you, debut, however you read it. And I've got to say I went with an old classic author who I've never read before this year, and that would be Leo Tolstoy. So I read Anna Karenina. I really enjoyed it. I didn't think it was amazingly perfect, but it was really good. And so I really enjoy his writing. And then I'm right now in the middle of War and Peace, really enjoying it as well. It is dense, they are heavy, they are complex, they cover so many topics. But I actually really enjoy these books, and I really enjoy Tolstoy's writing. So he might not be a new all-time favorite author, but he's definitely someone I want to check out more books from. So the next question is newest fictional crush. Now I don't typically have an answer, but I do have an answer for this one this time around. And this is a biblical fiction series called The Cities of Refuge by Connell Cosette, and Etienne is my favorite in the series. This is not the book where he is the main character, but this is in the same series. This is book 3, his is book 2. I don't own book 2, unfortunately. I don't even own this one. But I do think it's such a great story, and he is such a great character with growth over the series. I really love him, and I just was really excited to read more about him in book 2 and this series. So the next question is, what book made you cry? And I don't have many. I don't think I can think of any aside from one. I do sometimes tear up a bit, but I don't really cry. I have read some nonfiction this year that were really hard-hitting, and that can be really difficult to read, but I didn't cry because of them. I just felt immense amounts of emotion. I just didn't cry. But the one book I did cry in, I feel like it's gonna come up a lot in the month of July as a favorite, would be Return of the King. The last chapter, it got me. I was crying. It was sad. Love it though. I thought it was a perfect ending. The next question is a book that made you happy. Now, I'm going to go with Murder on the Orient SS, which is an ebook that I read. It's by K.A. Larmer, I believe is the name. I always forget this name, but it is such a great book. It's an Agatha Christie book club on a excursion, if you will. They go on this little cruise for a few days and someone dies. It's the whole thing. But it was such a great book. I loved how the structure was set up. I loved how it reflected Agatha Christie. It wasn't as amazing as Agatha Christie, but it was good. And I really loved the mystery. I loved the funny connections and characters and relationships and friendships. I just thought it was so wonderful. And it was the kind of cozy that I really like reading. And I thought it was really, really great. Everyone should check it out. It is a series, but there's only, I think, 2 or 3 in there. I wish there'd be more coming out. I have yet to read the rest of the books in the series though, but honestly, it was really good. Murder on the Orient SS. So the next question is the most beautiful cover that you bought this year. Now I am going to do a box set as I did buy them all together, and that would be the Chronicles of Narnia. I have them all here in my hand so I can show you the gorgeous covers. It's okay. So they are The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, Prince Caspian, Voyage of the Dawn Treader, The Silver Chair, The Horse and His Boy, which is my personal favorite, The Magician's Nephew, and The Last Battle. Now, these are just gorgeous to me. I think that they are stunning. Simple, but also super effective with the covers. And I love the color scheme as well, if I can show it right there. I think they're just simple and stunning at the same time. So the next question is, what do you need to read by the end of the year? I am going to say that I need to read a few, but I'm not gonna put any pressure on myself. I really do love this lack of forced reading on me, but I do have a few that I am desperate to read. And I'm gonna just talk about 2 of them right now. And those 2 are Home Before Dark by Riley Sagar. This literally came out yesterday when I'm filming this, and I am so excited. It looks so creepy, and every Riley Sagar that I've read, I've really enjoyed or loved. Literally every single one, so I cannot wait to pick up this one. Also, this cover is creepy as anything. He has good covers. And then the other one is something that everyone's literally been talking about, and I picked it up at the same time because why not? And I just really want to read it. I might bring it camping with me, and that is Beach Read by Emily Henry. I am so excited to read this one too. It sounds so much fun about 2 authors falling in love over writing different genres. I think it's gonna be great, very different from potentially horror, gothic, creepy house kind of feel, but I'm excited to definitely check these ones out and read them this year. These are like top priority for the summer, I think, and I really hope I can fit them into July because that'd be so awesome. So those are my answers for the mid-year freakout tag. Please leave a comment below if you would like to about this tag or what some of your answers. Also give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it and subscribe if you would like to stick around for more content. I always have something coming up on Sundays and Thursdays, so I hope to see you then. Bye for now.